There will be moments in your life when everything feels like it's falling apart, when the weight of your struggles becomes unbearable, when every step forward feels like a battle, and when you question whether you have the strength to keep going. In those moments, doubt creeps in, fear takes hold. The thought of giving up whispers in your mind, telling you that maybe this fight isn't worth it. But I want you to listen to me right now. This is not where your story ends. Hard times are not meant to break you, they are meant to shape you. Every person who has ever achieved greatness has walked through fire. They have faced rejection, failure, pain, and setbacks. What set them apart was not their talent or luck. It was their ability to keep moving forward, even when it felt impossible. So if you are struggling, if you feel stuck, if life has knocked you down one too many times, I want you to do one thing: keep going. Because the most powerful version of yourself is waiting on the other side of this storm. And I promise you, when you make it through, you'll realize that the struggle was preparing you for something greater. Adversity is a natural part of life. It comes in different forms: loss, failure, rejection, and unexpected setbacks. In the moment, it can feel overwhelming, like a storm that refuses to pass. But one of the most important things to remember when facing adversity is that it is temporary. No hardship lasts forever. Even the darkest night eventually turns into daylight. The pain you feel today will not last a lifetime, and the struggles you endure now will eventually become memories of battles you overcame. When people go through difficult times, they often feel as if their problems will never end. The weight of stress, uncertainty, and disappointment can make it seem like there is no escape, but history has proven that challenges are just moments in time. Think about all the hardships you've faced in the past. At the time, they may have seemed impossible to overcome, but you did. You found a way through, and now those struggles are just chapters in your story. The same will happen with your current challenges. You might not see the way out right now, but that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It means you must keep going until the path reveals itself. Adversity is temporary because life is always changing. No situation remains the same forever. Pain and hardship evolve, and so do you. Every storm runs out of rain, and every winter gives way to spring. Your emotions, your circumstances, and even the people around you are constantly shifting. What feels like a permanent state of suffering is in reality just a moment in the grand journey of your life. If you hold on and push through, you will eventually step into a season of peace, strength, and clarity. It's important to train your mind to see beyond the hardship. The way you perceive adversity determines how you respond to it. If you convince yourself that your problems are permanent, you might lose the will to fight through them. But if you remind yourself that no struggle lasts forever, you will develop resilience. You will learn to endure, knowing that the pain you feel today is shaping you for a stronger tomorrow. The most powerful thing you can do in the face of adversity is to keep moving forward, even when you don't feel like it. Small steps, no matter how slow, bring you closer to the other side of hardship. Many of the most successful people in the world have gone through seasons of extreme difficulty. They faced rejection, failure, financial ruin, and personal loss. But what made them great was their ability to push through, knowing that adversity was only temporary. They refused to let difficult moments define them. Instead, they let those moments strengthen them. You have the same ability. No matter how heavy your burdens feel right now, they will not last forever. One day you will look back at this moment and realize it was just a temporary storm that led you to a brighter future. Pain is an inevitable part of life. It comes in many forms: disappointment, failure, loss, and struggle. While it may feel unbearable in the moment, pain serves a greater purpose than we often realize. It is not just something to be avoided or endured. It is a force that fuels growth. Every hardship you face has the potential to make you stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Growth does not come from comfort. It comes from pushing past limitations, from enduring discomfort, and from overcoming obstacles that once seemed impossible. Pain forces you to change. When life is easy, there is little motivation to improve or evolve. People naturally settle into routines and avoid challenges that might disrupt their comfort. However, when pain enters the picture, it demands action. It forces you to adapt, to think differently, and to push yourself beyond what you thought you were capable of. This is why some of the greatest transformations happen after people experience their lowest moments. Pain breaks you open, but in doing so, it allows you to rebuild yourself into something stronger. Growth through pain is evident in both physical and mental challenges. In fitness, for example, muscles only grow when they are broken down through intense exercise. The process of lifting heavier weights or running longer distances is painful, but it is that very pain that leads to strength and endurance. The same principle applies to personal growth. When you go through struggles, your mind is being trained to handle more. You become emotionally tougher, mentally sharper, and more prepared for future difficulties. Pain builds resilience, and resilience is what separates those who succeed from those who quit. Many people fear failure because they associate it with pain. but failure is one of the most powerful teachers. Every mistake, every rejection, every loss provides an opportunity to learn. When things don't go as planned, you are forced to analyze, adjust, and try again. Each time you rise after a setback, you become wiser. You start to understand what works and what doesn't. You develop patience and persistence. Without failure, there is no progress. The most successful people in history, entrepreneurs, athletes, artists, have all failed repeatedly, but they used their failures as fuel to keep going. Instead of letting pain defeat them, they allowed it to shape them into something greater. Pain also teaches empathy and gratitude. When you have struggled, you understand the struggles of others. You develop a deeper sense of compassion and appreciation for life. Adversity makes you value the things you once took for granted. It reminds you of your inner strength and resilience. People who have endured hardship often emerge with a clearer sense of purpose and a greater appreciation for their journey. The process of growth through pain is not easy, but it is necessary. Every challenge, every difficult moment, every heartbreak is shaping you. Pain is not the end of the road, it is the force that pushes you toward your true potential. Discipline is the key to success. While motivation can give you a temporary spark, it is unreliable. Motivation is based on feelings, and feelings change. Some days you wake up feeling inspired and ready to conquer the world. Other days you feel exhausted, unmotivated, and unsure of yourself. If you rely solely on motivation, you will struggle to stay consistent because you will only take action when you feel like it. This is where discipline comes in. Discipline is what keeps you going even when you don't feel like it. It is the ability to push forward despite challenges, boredom, or lack of immediate results. Success is built on small, consistent actions repeated over time. Many people believe that great achievements come from bursts of inspiration or sudden breakthroughs, but in reality, they come from the disciplined effort of showing up every day. Whether it's working on a skill, building a business, improving fitness, or achieving any goal, progress depends on sticking to a plan even when the excitement fades. Discipline means doing what needs to be done, even when you don't want to. It is about committing to a routine and following through, regardless of your mood or circumstances. Discipline is the difference between those who succeed and those who give up. When obstacles arise, motivated people may stop because their initial excitement has worn off. Disciplined people, however, keep going. They understand that setbacks, failures, and hard days are part of the journey. They don't wait to feel ready or for the perfect time. They take action no matter what. This persistence is what leads to long-term success. People who are disciplined push through discomfort and frustration, knowing that progress is not always immediately visible but is happening beneath the surface. Building discipline is not about being perfect. It is about being consistent. Many people fail to reach their goals because they expect instant results. When they don't see immediate progress, they lose motivation and quit. But those who understand discipline know that real growth takes time. They trust the process. They focus on small, daily improvements instead of being obsessed with quick success. They know that missing one workout, one study session, or one productive day is not the end of the world, but giving up completely is. Discipline is about bouncing back, staying committed, and refusing to let temporary setbacks turn into permanent failure. One of the biggest advantages of discipline is that it builds confidence. When you prove to yourself that you can stick to something despite challenges, you develop self-trust. You start to see yourself as someone who follows through, someone who can rely on themselves. This confidence spills into all areas of life. It helps you take on bigger goals, face challenges with courage, and believe in your ability to overcome obstacles. The more disciplined you become, the more control you have over your life. You stop waiting for motivation and you start creating progress through consistent effort. Failure is often seen as something to be feared, avoided, or even as a sign of personal weakness. But in reality, failure is not a loss. It is a lesson. Every setback, every mistake, and every disappointment carries valuable insights that can shape you into a stronger, wiser, and more capable person. The people who achieve great success in life are not the ones who never fail, but the ones who refuse to be defeated by failure. They see it for what it truly is, an opportunity to learn, adapt, and grow. When you fail at something, it forces you to reflect. It makes you stop and analyze what went wrong, what could have been done differently, and what needs improvement. This process of self-reflection is crucial for growth. Without failure, there is no progress, because success is built on the foundation of lessons learned from past mistakes. If everything always worked out perfectly, there would be no reason to change, innovate, or push beyond limits. Failure is what drives improvement. It forces you to think creatively, try new approaches, and develop resilience. The greatest achievers in history have all faced failure. Athletes lose games before they win championships. Entrepreneurs watch their first businesses collapse before they build successful ones. Writers, musicians, and artists experience rejection before they create masterpieces. Thomas Edison failed thousands of times before successfully inventing the light bulb. He famously said, "I have not failed, I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work. This mindset is what separates those who ultimately succeed from those who give up. They understand that failure is not the end of the road, it is simply a step along the journey. Failure also strengthens character. It humbles you, teaching you patience, perseverance, and the ability to endure difficulties. People who have never faced failure often struggle when they finally encounter challenges because they have not developed the mental toughness needed to overcome them. But those who have failed and bounced back understand that hardship is temporary. They know that setbacks do not define them. How they respond to those setbacks does. Every time you rise after a failure, you build confidence in yourself and your ability to handle adversity. One of the biggest mistakes people make is letting failure discourage them to the point of giving up. Instead of seeing failure as an opportunity to improve, they take it personally. They believe it means they are not good enough or that their dreams are out of reach. But failure is never a sign to quit. It is a sign to adjust, to learn, and to keep going with a better strategy. Every successful person has failed more times than they can count, but what sets them apart is their refusal to stop trying. The truth is, failure is not a dead end. It is a detour, a redirection towards something better. The only real failure is refusing to try again. As long as you are willing to learn from your mistakes and keep moving forward, you have not lost. You are simply on the path to success. Your mindset shapes your reality. The way you think, the beliefs you hold, and the perspective you adopt determine how you experience life. When challenges arise, your mindset dictates whether you see them as obstacles or opportunities. If you believe that difficulties are meant to break you, they will. But if you believe that challenges exist to strengthen you, they will do exactly that. Your mind is the most powerful tool you have, and learning how to control it is the key to overcoming hardship and achieving success. Every situation in life is neutral until you assign meaning to it. Two people can go through the same struggle, yet one grows stronger while the other feels defeated. The difference is in their mindset. A person with a growth mindset sees failure as a lesson and struggles as a chance to improve. They believe that skills can be developed, intelligence can expand, and setbacks are just temporary. On the other hand, a person with a fixed mindset sees failure as proof that they are not good enough. They avoid challenges, give up easily, and believe that their abilities are set in stone. The only real difference between success and failure is the way you choose to see your situation. Your thoughts create your actions, and your actions shape your reality. If you constantly tell yourself that you are not capable, that you will never succeed, or that life is against you, you will subconsciously act in ways that make those beliefs true. You will hesitate, you will avoid risks, and you will settle for less than what you truly want. But when you change your thoughts, you change your actions. When you start believing in yourself, you take more chances, push through obstacles, and work harder to achieve your goals. This is why people who have confidence in themselves often achieve more. Not because they are more talented, but because they are willing to take the necessary steps to succeed. Difficult situations are inevitable, but suffering is a choice. Life will always have hardships, but how you respond to them is entirely up to you. Some people crumble under pressure, while others rise above it. The key difference is mindset. If you train your mind to see problems as opportunities for growth, nothing will ever truly defeat you. Even in failure, you will find lessons. Even in pain, you will find strength. The ability to control your perspective is the greatest power you have. Gratitude is one of the most effective ways to shift your mindset. When you focus on what is going wrong, your problems seem bigger than they actually are. But when you focus on what is going right, you gain clarity and strength. No matter how tough life gets, there is always something to be grateful for. Training your mind to find the good in every situation makes you more resilient. The moment you decide to see your challenges as stepping stones instead of roadblocks, your entire life will change. Your story is still being written. No matter where you are right now, this moment is just a chapter in your life, not the whole book. Too often, people believe that their current struggles define them, that their failures or hardships are permanent, and that they have reached the limits of their potential. But life is a continuous journey, and every difficulty, setback, and moment of doubt is just a piece of a much larger narrative. The way you respond to these moments determines how your story unfolds. Hard times can make you feel like nothing will ever change, but that is never the case. Growth is always happening, even when you cannot see it. Just like a seed buried underground, transformation takes place beneath the surface before it becomes visible. The struggles you face today are shaping you in ways you may not understand yet. They are preparing you for future opportunities, developing your resilience, and teaching you lessons that will become invaluable later. Some of the most successful and inspiring people in the world have faced extreme hardship, but they did not allow those hardships to be the end of their story. They kept going, even when they had every reason to quit. The challenges you are experiencing now will one day be part of your testimony. You will look back at this time and realize that it was a necessary step in your journey. What feels like failure now might actually be redirection. What feels like pain now might be the foundation of your greatest strength. Every great story includes moments of struggle. If you think about any hero in a book or movie, they all go through trials before they achieve greatness. Without challenges, there is no growth. Without adversity, there is no triumph. You are in the middle of your own transformation, and the difficulties you are facing are just part of that process. One of the biggest mistakes people make is believing that where they are now is where they will always be. This kind of thinking leads to hopelessness and discouragement. But when you understand that your story is still being written, you realize that you have the power to shape your future. You may not have control over everything that happens to you, but you do have control over how you respond. You have the ability to keep pushing forward, to learn from your experiences, and to create a new path for yourself. You must believe that better days are ahead, even when you cannot see them yet. Just because you are struggling today does not mean you will struggle forever. Every difficult moment is temporary, and the effort you put in now will lead to something greater later. The most important thing is to not give up in the middle of your story. Keep moving forward, keep believing in yourself, and trust that everything you are going through is leading you towards something better. Your journey is not over yet. Life will test you. It will throw obstacles in your path, challenge your patience, and push you to your limits. But remember this, every struggle you face is temporary. Pain does not last forever. Failure is not the end. Growth comes from adversity, and the hardest moments of your life are shaping you into the person you are meant to become. Discipline will carry you when motivation fades. Your mindset will determine whether you rise or fall. And above all, failure is not a reason to quit, it is a lesson to learn from. The journey is long, and at times it will feel unbearable, but your story is still being written. Where you are now is not where you will always be. The pain, the setbacks, the doubts, they are all part of a greater process leading you towards something better. So when the road gets hard, when you feel like giving up, remember why you started. Keep pushing, keep believing, and keep fighting. You are stronger than you think, and your future holds more than you can imagine. One day, you'll look back at this moment and realize that every hardship was preparing you for the greatness ahead. Keep going.